My, boyo. This is fucking something, isn't it? So I gotta make a video on squigs, you know, like this one right here that you're seeing, more than likely extremely largely zoomed in. I mean, I really can't fix that, but oh well, right? I mean, yeah. So I have to make a video on the squigs, as I've said. I think but it's fucking but it's a squig. So I mean, it's gonna be fucking something, all right. Anyways, I guess let's just jump right into the fucking squigs, shall we, boys? So a squig, well, a squig is basically just a fucking rubber bouncy ball with teeth. Yeah, it's a fungus. As I'm sure you can tell by the way it looks right there, with the fucking mushrooms growing off its head. Um, the way a squig is formed is there's a mushroom in the ground, and it just slowly morphs into a squig from other spores of other squigs or orcs even. But yeah. So that's how a squig is created. It's just grown. But yeah, it's grown. I don't know what the hell I would do if I saw a fucking mushroom looking like that bitch right there. But I mean, fucking, I guess get the shovel. Anyways, so a squig. The uses for a squig usually are, obviously with the orcs. But a squig, its uses, you see, are food and, it's really like a horde enemy, I guess you could say. Um, they fucking strap bombs to them. Me too. I mean, they're suicide bombers. Is that a job thing? I don't know if that's a career, but I mean, fucking, I'm grabbing at straws here. We're doing a fucking video on squigs, so yeah, okay. Suicide bomber squig. That's one thing. Fucking get this mouth out of here, bitch. Just little mouse bitch. Now, um, anyways, so the squig. So its uses are not much, but on the other hand, that's just the basic squig, you see, because there are more than one type of squig. Not all squigs are the same, you see. You see, there's the fucking shit squig like this one. There's furry squigs that are like half rat hybrids. Those are something. That's only in fantasy though, but it's fucking dead. Let's get back to that later. So the squig. There's also the colossal squigs. You know. There's albino squigs, which, yeah. Um, yeah, that's kind of what we got. I mean, no two squigs look the same. Some have mushrooms growing out of their head, like actual mushrooms, like the kind you see on bark, or one might have an actual just little fucking cap, like death cap mushroom growing out of the top of its head. One might not have anything. One might have hair. One, it's limitless possibilities. It's a fucking mushroom. What do you expect now? Um, the colossal squig. Let's get to that because fucking, I don't know. Let's just talk about a colossal swig. So a colossal swig, it's what the fucking name implies. It's giant fuck off squig, and they can range from anywhere to about the size of a horse to the size of a fucking fantasy giant. So I mean, they're quite large. These kind of squigs are a lot more dangerous than the others. I mean, I don't know why, but they are, dude. Get over it. So they, however, are also extraordinarily hard as fuck to train. So I mean, the goblins usually try to stay away from them because usually they'll just eat vast sums of them. But if you can train a colossal squig, then well, fucking, you got something, all right. You basically have a giant fucking rubber bouncy ball with teeth. So I mean, have fun with that. Anyways, it might eat you the next morning because their memories don't actually exist. But Yeah. So, anyways, let's the albino squigs are like the they're white. That's really it. They're maybe a little bit bigger, but I mean that's actually it. They're just fucking white. Okay, so there's that. Anyways, I mean, goblin shamans think they are they're special, but I mean they're just fucking white squigs. Who gives a shit? Anyways, so now let's talk about the orc family tree because that'll actually be something I can slightly talk about, and maybe you'll learn something. I mean, doubt it, but I mean maybe. So the orc family tree is basically an actual fucking mushroom, right? That's the which is the lowest on the food chain. The squig, which is used as basically cattle for orcs, very angry, toothy cattle, but cattle nonetheless. Then we go to the snotling, which is just it's a fucking small goblin that has autism. Anyways, so the snotling's pretty cool. It just kind of runs around and does retarded shit, but it also tends to the mushrooms. So I mean, you need them. But anywho, um, they also are not eaten usually. I mean, they can be. Don't doubt it. I mean, orcs will fucking eat anything, but usually they aren't eaten over the squigs of the mushrooms. But it probably will get eaten eventually. I mean, give it's the fucking orcs. But anyways, then we go over to the goblin or Gretchen if it's in 40k, which it rarely gets eaten as a main course. A light snack, however, I mean, yeah, that can happen quite often. But anyways, so a goblin does the work for an orc. It does the craftsmanship stuff. Because you see, when an orc picks up a hammer, it might just crush the hammer. But if a goblin picks up a hammer trying to make, let's say, a sword, you have to finally hit it on the edge, tap the blade, heat it, sharpen all this stuff, which is, depending on your sword, fine work. I mean, for an orc, it's extraordinarily fine. But so goblins do that. They do the craftsmanship and building, and they're also the slave labor of the orcs. So they make the armor, the swords, the shields. In 40k, they make the guns. Them and the mech boys, obviously enough. Mostly the mech boys in 40k. They just kind of help. But anywho, then we go over to the orc, which is it's a fucking orc. I hope you know what an orc is, or you really need to start looking a little bit more into 40k. So, anyways, an orc is a big green angry fucker. That's also a mushroom, which, by the way, all of these are fucking mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms mixed with animals. So there's that. So the orc basically is this hulking piece of just muscle with an extraordinarily arched neck, which I'll touch on later whenever I make an actual video on the orcs, if I do. So, I mean, the orcs are the main, obvious, the big, the bad, the leaders. But, as I was telling you, they cannot do anything to do with craftsmanship. Because they'll break everything when they hold it. An orc doesn't have the ability to do something as easy as such as, say, grab an eggshell. Where a human could grab it without breaking it, an orc will just use all of his force. He will just smash the egg in half. In half. Good job, Austin. That was a great example. Anyways, so he'll just fucking smash the egg, right? Well, when he smashes this egg, then it fucking ruins the egg, don't it? Well, that's how it's going to work if you pick up the sword and you smash the damn sword. You fucking screwed it up, so good job, orc. But anyways, that's why they use the goblins. So, an orc is more for the fighting, obviously. They, the more they fight, as this is for goblins as well. Never been proven to be for squigs, but you could assume it. The more they fight, the bigger they will get. So if an orc fights constantly, which they do, then they'll constantly be growing, getting bigger. This is why usually a war boss doesn't stay in power for very long unless he's a huge war boss. And if he is a huge war boss, then, well, the whole entire orc party, band, army, whatever you want to call it, will be grown to much higher strength because of it. Because they'll all be thinking about fighting that giant war boss. The adrenaline will be pumping. And that'll make them grow extremely large. Well, that's what I got for you for fucking Squigs. You know, I mean, I told you about some of the other shit too, but I mean, can you blame me? It's a fucking Squig video. I have to talk about that stupid fucking bastard right there, who looks like he has a fucking, like, yam for a tail. Yeah, I can't talk about that for that long, because, I mean, there's nothing to talk about. And I'm not gonna read the wiki page. I'm not some sort of freaking retard who reads the wiki page dead on. I just tell you what I know. So, I mean, it's a fucking Squig. What else do you fucking want from me? The fucking Squig.